I met her at convention. I went to convention last year. I signed up in May, like kind of end of May last year. And Jennifer Leith was, you need to come to convention. I'm like, I'm just a silver, like a 3-day-old silver. And so I went, and it was definitely a game changer for me. I definitely learned a lot from conventions. So if you have the opportunity to go, I definitely would encourage you to go for sure. Do they know who, like, I'm Tara's sideline. I guess we're Jennifer's level ones. And so I'm excited to be here and to do this with you guys. I'm actually doing a team training with my team tonight on conversations with Plexus. And so I wanted to share kind of some ideas with you guys as well of things that we've been working on and things that I've seen that are working on our teams. And I think that a lot of times people just don't know what to say when people ask, well, what's Plexus? Things like that. And so I'm just going to kind of just unload all these things that I've written down on you, and you guys can just kind of take what would work for you and definitely and just kind of go with it like that. So first of all is talking to strangers, kind of getting outside of the basic warm network. So you have your typical, you're going to contact your immediate friends, your family, all that kind of stuff. And then people say, well, after that, I really don't know anybody. So there's definitely the memory jogger that we can use. I always encourage anybody I sign up, I really encourage them to go on and get a memory jogger. And you can actually just Google that and just, it's memory jogger network marketing, and it pulls up a form of just awesome questions and helps people kind of literally start to jog their memory of people that they know. And more often than not, I have people say, wow, I didn't know I knew that many people. So they start out saying, I know nobody, this isn't going to work for me, to, wow, I think I know over 208 people, this is crazy. And that's actually a tip that I learned was to actually not ask for 100, but to ask for 200, because people will tend to stop at the 100 mark, and 200 really gets them jogging their memory. So after you've done all that, right, and you're kind of exhausted your warm network, how do you start to grow your business outside of your 5 main people? So you've got maybe 5 or 6 level ones, maybe even 2 or 3, and how do you start to grow your network? And you can definitely do that by, joining Facebook groups and all that kind of stuff, and joining different things in your community. But one thing that you can do too is just start sharing with people that you're meeting in everyday life circumstances. So if you're at the grocery store, I remember the first time I did this, I went to Walmart and I'm talking to this sweet young lady, and I'm like trying to get up the nerve to say something. And I just realized that I don't have to say anything that's going to just, make her sign up right on the spot. This is about building a relationship and saying, well, I work for a health and wellness company at Plexus. Have you ever heard of it? She said, no. And she goes, well, what is it? And so that's a really good question, right, that a lot of people are going to ask. And if you wear a t-shirt or anything, that's a great way to advertise to people. Say, what's Plexus? And I think that is one of the most important things for me anyway, is because I'm so passionate about these products. I want people to ask me what Plexus is, so I don't shy away from it anymore. But when I was first starting, it was really kind of like, well, it does a whole bunch of things, and it fixes this, and this, and you're not really sure which way to go. So I just kind of try and keep it really simple, down to 2 sentences. Something like, Plexus has changed my life. It's incredible. It's an all-over body balancer. It helps to balance blood sugar levels. It helps with weight management, pain reduction. I'll say a few kind of key things, and I'll just say, it's just really amazing. And then I like to ask them questions, so if it's at the grocery store, I'll just she'll say, well, what's Plexus? So I'll say that, and I'll say, do you know anybody who has diabetes or high blood pressure or struggles with sugar addictions? And 9 times out of 10, they go, well, yeah. And I'll say, well, can I friend you on Facebook? And here's my business card. So I changed my perspective from trying to sign someone up right then and there to just building that relationship, letting them know about the products, letting them know that, I'm here to help if you have any questions, but also keep in mind that if you know anybody who has those things, you can refer them to me. So you start to build this relationship with them on your Facebook. So that was just one of the things. I wrote down a bunch of notes, so I'm just going to kind of keep looking down here. But one thing on that was that to be careful, obviously, on the weight issue. So many people, I don't know about you guys, but I have so many people who think that Plexus is all about weight loss, and that's all it is. And people get their feelings hurt because they're like, well, why do you think I do Plexus? You know, and they're not realizing that it's so much more than weight loss. So I really try to hit on those points as well about the gut health. And one of the best things that we can do, and I love this, I was watching some Sarah Robbins videos, and she was talking about, you know, our stories. It's like our testimonies. You know, nobody can take our testimonies from us. And if we can share our testimonies first, that is our first goal when we're talking to a potential, is they don't really want to know the facts of the products. They don't want to know the facts of the business. What they really want to know is your story. How has it helped you? How has it helped people they know? So if it's their mom or if you have one of their friends as well on your team, you can share their story too. And then you want to share a little bit about the products. And I normally, and I think probably most of you guys do too, I hit on the triplex, right? And then I like to ask a lot of questions. You know, what interested you in Plexus? Where did you hear about Plexus from? What are your health goals? What are your financial goals? What are your goals for your future? Because what I found is at first I thought, well, that's kind of, you know, people aren't going to want me to ask them those things. But people actually really do like it when I ask them those things. They want to tell me what their goals are. And what that's allowed me to do is it's allowed me to really hit head on with their objections right out of the gate. So for those people, and I'm sorry if I'm kind of bouncing all over the place, but for those people, you know, that forever long potential courtship going back and forth, you know, I'm going to sign up, then they don't. Does anybody have people like that who just never sign up? Okay. This is a really good tool for that, is that you're going to share your story first. You're going to share a little bit about the triplex, and whether that's a quick little video that you do yourself or you send them of somebody else sharing it is fine, or even just a couple sentences on the triplex. And then a call to action. So something like, don't say, okay, just let me know when you're ready to order, because that kind of gives them this free reign to sort of mess with us a little bit. And so what I like to do is I just like to say something like, okay, let's get you signed up. I'm so excited that you're going to start doing this. It's going to be great. And then this is the crazy part. That, again, that does not mean in my mind, okay, I'm signing them up right this minute. But all of a sudden, it's like, okay, they actually come up with more questions for me. So if I would have left it, they would have been thinking about these questions, and they would have kept going through the week. And then maybe next Friday when I check in with them, they're going to ask me that one question. So I really try to nail down those objections and those questions as quickly as I can to prevent that from happening. And I can say that, you know, my first 4 months, I had forever long ones going on. And now, you know, that ratio is way down for me personally signing up level ones, is that I've found that, you know, just using that different kind of language really, really helps. And doing that call to action makes them, okay, she's serious. She wants me to sign up. I have to either ask the questions I need or, you know, tell her I'm not interested. And so that's been really, really effective. Now, that doesn't mean everyone's going to sign up off of that, but it definitely helps a whole lot. Definitely branding yourself with the Plexus name has been huge for me. Wearing t-shirts. I have some decals on my car. That's been awesome. That definitely does help. And then, of course, just being yourself and being passionate about the products, what the products have done for you. You know, when I really think about just what Plexus has done for me, I really want to share it with other people. It doesn't make me afraid or frightened, because I've really built my belief in the products. And I would encourage everybody to just spend time learning different people on your team's testimonies, and really kind of having those in your back pocket to share with people, because you're going to meet people who have different circumstances than you, who need the products for different reasons. And the more testimonies that you've heard of, the more helpful you're going to be for that person, you know? So That's definitely been a helpful thing for me to do for sure. And of course, I wrote down business cards, giving your business card out to the person who you met at Walmart in the cash register. A good challenge to do that's kind of fun that Jennifer had done when I first signed up was to take your business card and take a picture of yourself with somebody. So if you're at Walmart, you're like, my company's doing a challenge and we're going to take a picture. It really, I'm telling you, every single person I did that with asked me, what's Plexus? So kind of getting out of your comfort zone a little bit and realizing that these products are for everybody and everybody needs them. And, we're kind of keeping a secret to ourselves if we don't share it. So just kind of changing our mindset on that. Okay, so that was that one there. And then I wanted to talk about explaining the 3 ways to buy and then hitting that price objection. And then I'm going to open it up for questions if anybody has any. So when people say to me, okay, well, how do I buy? That used to terrify me because I feel like it's overwhelming. I used to think it was overwhelming for people to try and, here's the 3 different ways you can buy. And if you do this, you need to pay the $34.95, then $99, then it changes to $109. I was never really sure how to word it so it wouldn't be confusing. But the way I've run my business is I like to sign people up wholesale for 2 reasons. One, it's the cheapest price for them. I know they're going to love it. I know they are. And then the second reason is that it builds my personal team and builds my business. So I don't personally sign up a ton of customers. I definitely lead with wholesale and default on customer. Now I probably have about 5 or 6 customers right now, and that's kind of where it stays at. So I don't have a bazillion customers, but that's just how I run it. So I'll say something like, well, there's 3 ways to buy it. Retail, which is the most expensive. That's all I say. I don't even really give them a price because it's just not really even worth it. If they were going to order retail, they probably just would have already done it. Preferred, I really hit on the main points. Preferred gets a 60-day money-back guarantee. That's amazing. It is a totally risk-free option, and it's $124.95 a month for triplex. And that's just number 2. I just put 1, 2, and then 3 is, wholesale. And now my favorite, which is the wholesale option. And it's $34.95, and that's your cost. It's like a Costco membership. That gets you the discounted prices for the whole entire year. And then I say, you get your products the first month at a really cheap discount for $99, and then it's $109 after that. And that's kind of how I explain it. I always say this is my favorite option. It's the cheapest option. Because we want people to have the cheapest option. And the other thing is you never know when you sign up someone as an ambassador that they're going to turn around and start building their business. I think that sometimes we assume someone wants to be a customer because they really have no interest at all, but they don't get added to our team pages. They don't get as much training, ambassador training, if we do it that way. So I really encourage people to sign up wholesale. And that's kind of how I handle that. And then the pricing, definitely something I had a light bulb moment with, an Amber Miller video that Eva, the Canadian Diamond, had sent to me when I was asking her about how she was handling the prices in Canada. Because I'm from Canada and all my family and a lot of my friends are out there, and it's almost, it's 40% higher cost out there in Canadian than it is here. So instead of trying to sell a $100 triplex, $110 triplex, I'm trying to sell $180, almost $200 triplex. And that changes things. And so, I was asking her about pricing and how she was handling that. And she sent me this video, and oh my goodness, it just changed the way I thought about my business, because I was always going into that conversation when someone said, well, how expensive is it? How expensive is it? I would just give the cost, and then they would say, wow, that's expensive. And I'd say, I know, I'm sorry, but it's worth it. And I try to help them see the value in the products, like we're supposed to. But something that Amber Miller said that I just kind of clicked in my brain was that we do not have to apologize for these prices. We have products that work. They are valuable. And when I really got thinking about it, I'm like, my husband had a massive heart attack and over half of his heart is damaged. He's got a horrible heart condition. And I would remortgage my house to have him feeling as good as he is now. on Plexus. There's no question in my mind. It's like I have my husband back. So to ask someone to pay $200 a month even for triplex is not too much, because it's valuable. If these people are coming off medication, if these people are having a healthier, happier life, it is totally worth it. And not only that, I'm a stay-at-home mom of 5 kids. We homeschool. We have a 1-income family. And it was not like, oh, okay, well, that's no problem. We'll just do 2 triplexes a month. I mean, it was definitely a sacrifice. We're going to have to somehow find the money places and make this work. But what I found from that was that this is possible and it is doable. And if they really, really, really want it, they're going to make it happen. So to kind of just get that perspective, I started saying things like, they'd say, well, how much is it? I would not answer directly right away. I would say, it's super affordable. That's why I love it. Me being a 1-income family with the 5 kids at home, we're able to afford 2 triplexes each month, you know. And then when I started sharing it, that was even greater, because now it's turned into a huge blessing financially for us. And that's how so now I've introduced the business side to them, but I've also put that perspective that it's affordable. So when I actually come down to the price, she actually called it a skip, hop, and a jump. So you kind of skip over it, you know, you skip, you hop, and then you kind of jump over it, and then you go into the actual answer afterwards. So I would just sort of share those things with them. And now I've introduced the business to them as well. And then I'll lay out the prices for them. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, oh, okay, well, that's not so bad. It's when we say things like, well, I know it's really expensive, but you know, if you drink Starbucks, you could pay for it this way. We're putting that perspective in their mind that it's going to be crazy expensive and they can't afford it. We want to put in their minds, you can afford it, and it's totally, absolutely worth it. So I wanted to see if anybody had any objections that they're dealing with now that they wanted us to kind of brainstorm on. Does anybody have any questions about what I was talking about? You guys are awesome. You're just like soaking it all in. Or you've heard it all before, probably.
Are we all still on mute?
I don't think so. Well, yes. Yeah, you are. Except for you, Tara.
Except for me. My thing code totally knocked me off a second ago. But anyway. Having issues.
Hilarious.
Did you unmute it?
Yeah, you're unmuted.
Okay. Is everybody else unmuted?
No. They're all muted still.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, is anybody else, you know, running into objections that they want to talk about?
Nope. That's awesome. I'm glad. That's great.
I do know that one of my ambassadors who isn't here tonight, it's definitely the answer she keeps getting is the money thing. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, too, I have a lot of supplements that I'm already using, so I want to use those up first, and, you know, that type of thing, even though, you know, they're not necessarily feeling an effect. So that's where it's, you know, I think she's been frustrated with that, one of my other ambassadors.
Do you guys do online parties?
We're going to be a part of the one next week for Jennifer on the 24th.
Awesome.
But I try to encourage trying to do one monthly, but I'd like to push that a little more. So,
yeah, online parties are great because your potentials who are kind of hanging in limbo, who are wanting to, but maybe they're not sure, maybe they just haven't heard the right testimony that's going to pique their interest. Right. Online parties are great for that because they hear a lot of different testimonies. And so I've had a lot of ambassadors who, you know, were kind of a couple months here and there riding the fence, and then I put them on an online party or two, and then they saw that testimony that definitely piqued their interest. But you can do that with your own Facebook page too, is making sure that you're posting different kinds of testimonies. So don't focus on one particular testimony. You know, I know a lot of us probably tend to gear towards one, the thing that's helped us the most, you know, but just sharing about different things that Plexus can do for people, because you're in a different audience. And opening up your Facebook network too.
Absolutely.
Going and friending people that you're meeting, things like that, definitely helps too.
I've joined a couple of like women's entrepreneur type Facebook pages, and I've gotten lots of different, friend requests or whatever. And then I had this woman from London ask me about Plexus, and so I got her a triplex combo and shipped it over, to stinking London. So it was really cool. But yeah, so it's building those connections and kind of stepping outside your comfort zone and that type of thing.
Well, and you're awesome at that, Tara. I mean, that's definitely.
Thank you.
I mean, you're definitely strong.
Thank you.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Great. Yeah. Well, does anyone else have any other objections that they wanted or anything, or any questions or anything? No. Y'all are good?
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Alita, for coming. I really appreciate you coming and talking tonight. Really, really appreciate it. Just taking the time. Definitely.
I'm rambling on, but anyway.
No. But we'll definitely be in touch soon, too.
Okay. Well, sounds great. Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
See you guys later.
Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye. Bye.